state of Florida in a great light and bring needed jobs and needed industries here. The problem with Enterprise Florida today is just the transparency and making sure that everything is done properly and the accountability. So what I had said to the Sunset Rules, provided that we had the proper transparency and accountability, I support it because I do definitely believe in public-private partnerships.
I've got a follow-up question for you, sir. And this is one of innumerable examples. Of course, I probably didn't bring it up here with me to get it. But if I didn't, I have it in my stuff. It's a picture of a bottle of water with your head inside it. One of the mailers at Gary Farmer sent it. He's accused you of supporting fracking and working to worsen the quality of the drinking water of people in the state. What is your response to that?
Well, I can be nice and just say he's just mistaken, or I can be accurate and say he's just flat out lies. The fact is that I've actually never voted for fracking. There's not been a bill to authorize fracking in the state of Florida. In fact, fracking is already legal in the state of Florida, which is why Broward County passed a law to an ordinance to restrict it. The only votes that I took regarding fracking were actually to protect the environment, and that's to make sure that there was proper regulation, that we knew what was going into the ground if any of the fracking was to take place. But I have publicly opposed fracking. I've opposed fracking in the legislature. I've taken the frack-free pledge to oppose fracking. His is just a bunch of campaign nonsense and lies.
Gary Farmer, tell us why that's a fair piece. That piece that says Walden's water.
In 2013, House Bill 1083 allowed for the construction of underground natural gas storage tanks. These tanks would be located underneath our aquifer. That is plain stupid and dangerous to our water supply. For those of you not aware, we have an underground river called the aquifer. It is our only source of fresh water in the state. These gas storage tanks have exploded before. Most recently, I believe it was in South Dakota. To put a natural gas storage tank underneath our aquifer is incredibly dangerous to our water supply. Also in 2013, House Bill 1085 and House Bill 745 exempted from public records disclosure the 32 carcinogens that are part of the chemical composition that goes into the water that they shoot down into the ground to frack. Now, our topography is limestone. It could best be described as a hard sponge, holes all throughout. When we frack, we frankly do not know where that pressurized water is going, and the fact that my opponents both voted for both of those bills to make exempt from public disclosure 32 different cancer-causing chemicals that go into the water, I believe justifies the claim that those votes supported fracking, and they're bad for consumers and bad for our water supply. We need two things, folks, to live: air and water. We can't mess it up.
I'm going to give Representative Clark-Reed the last word since he referred to votes you took as well. Yeah, go ahead.
What you have to understand is what the bill actually says and what the bill actually does. In my opinion, and when I take my votes very, very seriously. Those votes do not hinder what needs to be done here in the state of Florida. I have never voted for fracking. And let me just tell you something about fracking. When you say how many carcinogens and all that stuff that's going down in there, you can put that on paper. But do you know that the bill says you can change all of that? You don't have to say exactly what's going down there. So you really don't know what's going down there. Even if you voted against the bill or for the bill, you still do not know what's going in the ground.
Thank you. Representative Clark-Reed, thanks. Jim Waldman, thank you. Gary Farmer, thank all three.